Welcome in, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Welcome. This is
Hey,
uh this is uh this is the Fantasy Lounge. I'm
welcome.
Zach. That's Nolan over
It's
there.
me.
Um, this
Hello.
is the fantasy football show by fans for fans, and it is not co-signed by experts. Okay,
No,
we
it's
don't
not. Not here. No experts allowed.
we don't do that here.
Yep.
Okay, we're taking like unsolicited, unprepared in some cases
That's right.
content. We're just throwing it at you. Okay,
We're
somebody's
leaning into the casuals.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
fine.
No, I mean, I get blown away that someone's letting us do this.
I
Okay,
know. It's weird, right?
yeah. Well, it
Eh,
is what it is.
whatever.
So, well, look. In bigger news than the intro is we made it through week one,
We did
and
it.
it
Hooray.
was like I'm gonna say wildly underwhelming week one, if that
It's
makes
real.
sense.
It was real disappointing in a lot of ways, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I so until the last game, I was winning like 8 leagues, but nothing like no dominating wins. And then the Jets Niners game like killed me in like 4 leagues. I mean,
Yeah,
I finished
I don't think there wasn't enough points overall to have like a lot of dominating wins this week.
no
Like
unless you're
the
one of those
league
little
as a whole was just down.
unless you're one of them sweaty tryhards. We don't stand for that here.
No,
Okay.
unacceptable.
Yeah. So yeah, week one in the books. We're going to talk about some of week one. We're going to talk about some stuff you should worry about or shouldn't worry about. Then we're going to jump into a little bit of week two, and then get out of here and worry about the rest of it. But first, Nolan, let's talk about briefly. This is episode 2, but really 3,
This is
right?
right. Well, no, it's episode 2. This might be the first one anybody's seen, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
We had some technical difficulties that were probably my fault,
No.
but who knows for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
for anybody that's been around for any amount of time, hey, our background's a little different. We're using a different site to stream this now. Hopefully this helps. If I sound quiet again, I'm so sorry. I've been trying for a week to fix it.
He's working on it. Okay,
I've worked so hard.
he's really working on it.
So forgive me if it's bad again, but hey, this is y'all's first episode. This is our second episode.
That's right. That's right. We made it. Okay. We made it. So, well, look, let's talk a little bit about week one. We're going to get to, I'm going to let you do tight ends, Nolan. I'm going to let you talk about that because we talked about that.
Because
Okay.
we talked about it last week. Y'all didn't get to see it, but
Yeah.
tight
We covered it.
ends. Let's
You wouldn't
lean into
believe.
it. Tight
You
ends were
wouldn't
trash. So we
the-
talked a lot about how you need to pick the elite tight end.
Mhm.
Hold on.
The
I'm still on
non-rookie
projection. Go to
tight end.
stats. That's right. Pick the elite tight end. You pick Laporta, you pick McBride, you pick Kelsey, you pick Andrews. Everybody that did that had a real bad week. I know that's been our advice. I stand by it
Yep.
because of the numbers. If you look, so the week one tight ends who stood out this week, Isaiah Likely, nobody saw this shit coming.
Sure.
Foster Moreau, I don't know who the fuck that is. Zach only
Yeah.
does because he's a Saints fan. Brock Bowers, fine. I'm sure some of you saw it. Pitts finally scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then Juwan Johnson, literally, you have 2 Saints tight ends in the top 5 tight ends. It's disgusting to think about. Tight ends made no sense this week.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Like, if I'm totally honest with you, Kyle Pitts scoring a touchdown felt like when Deontay Johnson finally got to score a touchdown.
I'll get to it because that's in my notes to talk about how he scored that touchdown. We'll get to it. You know what? We'll segue this segment into the next one that I want to talk about too.
Yeah.
But so tight end, that was weird. It was super weird this week. But if you look back, you go from 24 week 1 stats and you click 23 week 1 stats.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it was also weird as shit. Your top 5 tight ends: Hunter Henry, Hayden Hurst, Hawkinson, who's died like 3 times since then, Donald Parham, 6'8" monster, probably the only top 5 week he's ever had in his career, and Evan Ingram.
That feels accurate.
It was gross last year, week 1 too.
Yeah.
I think it's just might be part of week 1. It's fluky, especially now, like with preseason. I blanked on
That's fine. It's totally okay.
You saw it on my face.
Yeah.
Preseason only been 3 weeks and nobody took it serious. Half the quarterbacks in the league didn't play. Like it's going to be a little ugly going into week 1. As you saw, like I think the league average for quarterback passing was 185 yards, which is an insane thing.
It's gross.
Quarterback for
in
93
the 400
yards
per
and
game.
won a game.
Yeah. In the 400 yards per game, like time of living that we live, 185 is gross. But let's not only tight ends, but for everybody, right? Nolan, I pulled up the just top 10 players for or top players overall for week 1, and there's some weird names. There's some weird names. Okay?
That's right.
Or weird position groups, I guess. So this weekend, Baker Mayfield reigns supreme at 38 points.
You heard it here. We've been talking about him in the Evans stack all off.
Baker's the boy. Well, right now, after that, it's the Baker and anybody stack. He threw touchdowns to 3 different guys.
He did, yeah.
He was great. Nolan, I'll have you know, I looked, and last year, Baker was the 6th best player in week 1.
There you go.
Shout out Baker Mayfield, killing it on opening day. Okay.
He's that adult that the Browns have always been looking for.
Which is sad that he's the adult.
Okay? We'll get to it because fuck that guy.
Then we're going to have Saint number 1 in the top. Okay. Derek Carr with 27. The Saints are back.
No, maybe? You played the worst team in the league.
All right, hear me out.
You played some high schoolers.
Yes. But 21-0 is beating a team badly. 47-10.
Yeah, it's like Arkansas playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. Very similar.
It's like Tennessee playing Chat. Okay,
right. Same thing.
We live in a similar world. All right. You have a kicker at the 3rd best player, Chris Boswell, with 26 points. Playing for Pittsburgh, one of those teams that won without a touchdown, because we have more than one of those. You got the Bears unit, defensive unit, Alec Pierce at 5. Shout out Alec Pierce.
Shout out.
Saint number 2 at 6, Blake Groupie, the Saints kicker, and then rounding out the top 7. We got to keep going because some more names are weird. We got the Minnesota Vikings defense at 8. You have Geno, I guess Geno, and then at number 9 you have a resurgent comeback player of the year candidate, Sam Darnold. Too early? Is it too early?
No, it's not too early.
That's the whole point, people. It's week 1. It's all too early. Okay.
Well, nah. No, we're here to overreact. It's not too early.
We had 2 kickers in like the top 11. We had 3 defenses. We had 3 Saints players. So like it was a great week 1.
It's just gross.
Cheers to week 1, Saints.
Cheers to week 1s. All right, we're moving off from week 1.
All right.
Kyle Pitts finally caught a touchdown. Do you know on the only time that Kirk Cousins left the pocket the entire game, the one time he threw that touchdown? That was it.
So, get some crutches, get one of those one-wheel scooters.
He's broken, man.
Get out there, buddy.
So, they ran either pistol or regular shotgun the entire game. They ran it out of pistol 80% of the times they ran pistol, and 20% they ran in shotgun, I think. There might have been lower than 20. I don't remember the exact number. But so he obviously can't move. He didn't take a handful of snaps under center. He can't run. He can't move. He left the pocket one time. It's gross, man. Kirk Cousins might have died. Which really does hurt all my Drake London shares.
Yeah, R.I.P. our boy Kirk.
They are going to be a run-first team for this year, which is sad for a lot of us. Honestly, if he keeps playing like this, they might have to move up the Penix move sooner than we expected.
It doesn't matter. His money's guaranteed. Kirk's okay.
For 2 years, they've got a team out after 2 years. It's actually only a guaranteed 2-year contract.
Yeah, Kirk's fine. He's going to survive.
I mean,
he's going to go be like a youth pastor somewhere. It's, he's fine. But a really rich one,
Well, Yep. So, yeah, their pass games are relevant. the only player worth a damn on that team for probably the rest of the year is probably going to be Bijan.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, so let's talk about some players that I'm throwing this on you randomly. Okay,
All right, hit me with
some
them.
players. We're not doing injuries yet. I'm gonna get that pulled up. We're gonna go over that just a little bit. And there's some ones to worry about here. Who do we hate this weekend? I'll go first to give you a
Coming
chance
up, like from week 1 or into week 2.
Going into week 2. Who do you hate? And I want to go first. I want to go first.
All
I'm
right.
probably stealing them.
Don't steal mine.
Does he play for an orange team?
No.
Oh, okay. I hate Joe Burrow this weekend. I do. It's not his fault. Yeah. It is a little bit his fault.
His wrist is still hurt.
Well, you know, they had the water bottle thing this weekend where like he couldn't hold a water bottle allegedly. You know,
you saw him massaging it the whole game too.
Yeah. So the cat's not feeling good. His O-line is not playing good.
They're still awful. They've been bad since he got there.
And then Nolan, our Andre Yosivas season started slow. Started slow.
It'll happen.
Yeah. The only upside for the Bengals this weekend was people were going, Zach Moss is the guy. You know, get rid of Chase Brown. You're good. Go ahead and get Zach Moss. And again, I'm not totally. It's just week 1. Like
it's just week 1.
You know, I'm not.
He was on the field a lot more though.
Yeah. Well, game script matters, right? Like and when you don't have anybody to pass it to, they're going to go to the guy who's a little bit more tenured, I think. Mm-hmm. But Chase Brown's going to have his shots this year. Like, you know, if you've got the roster space to stash him, I'd stash him.
More
Zach Moss has an injury history, and
Chase Brown has been on that team longer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, someone's going to be screaming, "Talent rises," but yeah, I hate Joe Burrow this weekend. I just think they're getting ready to play Kansas City. Kansas City's defense should be better, should be good. Like they almost let the Ravens get away with one there, but they're playing at KC. So look, Joe Burrow historically plays well against Kansas City. I'm doing the Jedi thing.
This might be the exception.
This will not be the game to play him. Okay, like I'm out. I'm out on Joe Burrow this weekend.
Mine that I'm not excited about may surprise you, Mr. Zachary, because I know you love him a whole lot.
I'll be interested to hear it.
Mine is George Pickens. Don't like it.
Okay.
So you've got Arthur Smith and Justin Fields. You know how I feel about Justin Fields. He's an awful thrower of the football.
Yep.
Arthur Smith, he did game plan around it very well, though. I think he rolled out on the majority of passes. A lot of bootlegs, which makes sense. Tracks for how Justin Fields plays. Still can't throw the damn ball. Also, he's going to be going against Patrick Surtain all weekend. Surtain shadowed DK, and if you look at DK's numbers last week, you know it's real fucking bad. When they just got an OC from Washington Huskies who was super throw heavy, they moved the ball. He basically shut DK down, and he's going to be shadowing George Pickens. So on top of having one of the best corners in the league shadowing your best player, you have a quarterback that's not good at throwing the ball and a OC that would rather you run it anyways.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that. I want him to be good. I took him in a bunch of leagues, but you're right. Like the Steelers are one of those teams that didn't score a touchdown this weekend and won, and that kind of feels like how they're going to win games this year. Like the most Mike Tomlin-esque way you could win a game.
Mike Tomlin, Arthur Smith. It just tracks, man. Which is also a wild thing to say. Won a game without scoring a touchdown.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Well, let's talk about injuries a little bit. I got our guy Deepak Chona on Twitter. Shout out. I get most of my injury stuff from him. He does a really great job getting all that posted and then giving you like data and like how that might affect their workload or like how many weeks he thinks. So we get most of our I get most of ours from there. I can pull him up.
What did he say about our Rams friend?
So we're talking about Puka here. Okay. Yeah. Puka IR average at least 6 games. They have a week 6 bye, so he says he thinks week 7 return may be their plan.
Yep. I saw a report today that they could be pushing past the 4 games for IR. So
he's saying 6. He thinks.
Is this the Cooper Kupp fantasy number 1 player season?
If he's healthy, dude, and he gets the usage he got last week, him and Saquon are sprinting for it. Like for sure.
The next highest targets in the league was a bunch of guys with 12 targets. He had 21 targets last week.
Matthews, I try to give him almost at Sam Bradford. That's deep cut.
They're the same. They're the same person.
Well, one guy's like mega talented. One guy was Sam Bradford.
He should have been mega talented.
Yeah. Well, he's all right. But Sam Bradford killed the rookie wage scale. Okay, like they put in, or he invented it, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, Matthew Stafford, dude, doesn't even look somewhere. Well, he looks one other person. A little known tight end named Colby Parkinson. But
call that shit too.
Yeah. For the most
put it on the board.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, look, I'll say it on stream so it's out there in the verse. Nolan's been talking about Colby Parkinson all offseason. He's not championing him as like a tight end one. Okay, like he's not going to be but he did say you could take him and play him as your tight end. Like
we talked about it before, tight end 8 to 20, they're all the same person.
Yep. All right, so let's get into a little bit of injury news. T. Higgins, much to my Joe Burrow point, data favors missing week 2. And if he does play, it's high re-injury. Nolan, it's a hamstring. Like
it's never going to go away. It's going to fuck with him the rest of the season.
Yeah, chase him all year. We could see a return of Hollywood Brown against the Bengals. The Chiefs are going to freaking destroy them in KC.
It's going to be a 30-point game.
Yep. Josh Downs might show back up in week 2, but it's probably more likely week 3. Plus, Adonai Mitchell was startlingly open.
He just couldn't get hit. Crazy. You have a run-first quarterback that can't throw the ball, can't hit an open receiver. Wild.
He can throw one open if they're fast enough.
Well, and we saw that with Alec Pierce.
Yep.
Threw that boy open.
Yeah. But look,
can't hit a timed receiver.
Yeah, he's a fantasy quarterback. He's not a real life quarterback.
Bad real life quarterback.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Miami running backs. Raheem Mostert, chest. It's an often played through injury, but with a decreased workload, and they have a short week. So Chance Mostert doesn't play.
Didn't they say today he's not playing? I thought they announced it.
Let's pull it up because I was going to talk about Devon Achane after that.
I'm pretty sure they announced he's not playing.
Oh yeah, he's out, ruled out. So no Mostert. Devon Achane looking like a potential not play as well.
Get your Jeff Wilson's ready.
Yep. It's gonna be it's gonna be Jeff Wilson, or we're gonna finally see Jalen Wright in like snaps that count.
It's gonna be Jeff Wilson.
Last running back they drafted was Devon Achane.
McDaniel brought Jeff Wilson with him from the 49ers. He's gonna play Jeff Wilson.
And he's 6'2", 205.
He's a big dude.
Yeah,
he looked good the couple times he's on the field too. It's not like he looked bad when he got the shot.
Yep. This week, if you're gonna play a Bears receiver, start DJ Moore with confidence.
Yep.
Now I know they didn't score touchdowns last week, but no Rome, looking like no Keenan Allen.
Yep.
So it's going to be DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and the running backs. Okay.
And they're going to give Gerald Everett his looks for some fucking reason. Like,
I don't get that.
I don't get it. They're obsessed with Gerald Everett. I don't fucking understand it.
But if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm looking at what Matthew Stafford did with Cooper Kupp and going, DJ, you're next.
Yep.
You're getting 21 targets, Pally. Let me see. Quarterback news isn't that big of a difference from what we already know. Lamar probably going to be okay. He's got a high risk of injury.
He always has.
But he's going to play.
Style of play, he's always going to be risking injury.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if Josh Allen's hand is broke or his arm or his leg. He's playing. Okay, so we're pretty sure last year he got a concussion and ran back out on the field and played the rest of the game.
Yep.
So
he's got that Matt Stafford grit.
Yeah, he does. Or that Joe Flacco grit. Okay,
that Joe Flacco grit. Yeah,
brother tore his ACL and led a game-winning drive. Okay, like Joe Flacco. They make him different. God,
the Matt Stafford arm popped out of socket, game-winning touchdown. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll always.
The tough guys are mostly gone. They're mostly gone. Not all gone because Josh Allen exists.
Josh Allen still. Hey, Matt Stafford, he's still in the league.
That's why it is. Why look the position. The skill positions he has are keeping him in the league.
Well,
yeah. When you got Cooper and Puka and Kyron and all these other dudes, like it makes the old quarterback's job easy. So, Jordan Love, look, if you got IR, stash him. If you don't have IR, figure that out. But it's going to be 4 or 5 weeks. It's going to be a long time to sit him on the bench if you don't have an IR spot.
Speaking of somebody that may benefit from the Puka news,
Yep.
Tyler Johnson. A lot of us, if you played Dynasty, you remember there was a lot of hype behind him when he came out of Minnesota in 2020. He was on the same team as Rashad Bateman. A lot of people thought he was better than Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
Not Rashad. Bateman. Forgetting whatever.
Mr. Bateman.
Mr. Bateman, if you will. So if you played Dynasty for a while, you know that name. It's nice he's finally being relevant after years of the hype dying.
Yeah. We hey, I wish he's good. That would be fun for the Ravens, but hopefully he keeps it up. Couple tight end news here. David Njoku, probably 3 weeks. Moderate to high ankle sprain. You're just gonna watch that. Jake Ferguson, I still don't have clear news. Like he's definitely hurt.
He looked bad hurt. Did you watch the injury? It looked bad. But I think he's only questionable right now, which is shocking.
Yeah, it's super
I thought he
frustrating.
was done after that.
Well, he had the dreaded no practice on a Wednesday, which is going to make playing on the weekend difficult.
Yep.
Wednesday's game plan day. And then our boy Deepak's saying that it could be 2 to 4 weeks, leaning towards week 3 or 4 return with a dip in production. So,
which they haven't announced yet, though, which is also the worrisome thing.
Well, he's probably smarter than us.
True.
Clearly. So a couple guys going to be coming back. It looks like DeAndre Hopkins, like I said already, Hollywood Brown should be playing, but D-Hop should come back. He'll probably have a stats dip, but Calvin Ridley looked pretty good. Yep. And with DeAndre Hopkins back, I think that makes it easier.
Also, wasn't that another game that was won with 0 offensive touchdowns?
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, Will Levis technically threw one.
Well, I don't know if we're going to count that.
Did you see the photo?
There's
a photo after he threw it. He threw like the little pick six that lost the game, and he's on the ground doing this, like on his knees.
That's the dumbest shit you've ever fucking seen. Was him trying to do that.
I'm gonna do Will Levis photo, and I don't want to see his girlfriend.
Does he have a new one?
No. But remember, that was all the hype.
Oh yeah, the TikTok girl.
Yeah,
whatever the fuck her name was.
Well, she deserves better. Okay.
Wow.
I can't find. I'll keep looking for it. But yeah. Yep. Jaylen Warren should be playing. Roman Wilson could be going. Like Steelers could be getting reinforcements. I don't know if it matters.
It doesn't.
But they could.
The quarterback's not good to supply 2 wide receiver ones on that team.
Yep. Marshawn Lloyd was a healthy scratch in week 1, but I think it wasn't actually a healthy scratch. I think it was a cautionary scratch.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to play week 2. Our guy says, but limited touches. Plus, Emmanuel Wilson looked really good.
He looked good
up Jacobs.
So he didn't get on the field a lot, but when he did, he looked solid.
Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about the bunch of injury news. Look, go check it out, peeps. We shouted him out. Deepak Chona on Twitter. He's got tons of stuff. I mean, he has 11 tweets as of yesterday. So
solid follow.
But I want to talk about 2 players. One that performed really well over the weekend and one that did not, and just see if we think that's sustainable. Okay. And they both technically played on the Ravens at one point. One does now and one used to, if that gives you a hint. So we'll talk about JK first. JK Dobbins was awesome last week in week 1, right? Like he showed up and looked like the talented guy we've seen for 1 or 2 weeks every year.
Yep.
Let me see stats for week 1. He was
excellent.
Blow it up so I can see it better.
He was fucking excellent.
Oh yeah. He had 23 attempts. 23 points, 10 attempts, 135 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions.
Yep, for 4 yards,
on 3 targets. So all of that, only 4 yards. But PPR, right? Don't play standard.
Right. That's my big thing with this team. We knew somebody was going to get him. He actually, I think, got less rushes than Gus, though, which is the weird thing. His were just more successful rushes.
He was exhausted.
Well, yeah. He got tracked down on every run, though. That he couldn't outrun anybody. I think
Yeah,
we
well,
could
yeah.
probably
So
catch
he
him
did
in
look slow.
downfield.
Dude, you're wild. Yeah, so not kidding. In a running offense, he had 10 for 135. Gus had 11 for 26,
Yep.
which hurts a little, but like a really long rush will do that. Like it will skew the stats a little bit. But I don't want to take it from JK. He was the better back this weekend. So do we think going against I'm pretty sure it's the Panthers in week 2.
It is
No, it's the Raiders. Do we think going up against the Raiders?
No, they play the
No, it is
Panthers.
Panthers. I'm
Yeah.
correct. I was correct the first time. How do we think that running game is going to look with JK again? Do we think it's going to be
it's going to look
frustrating?
solid. The Panthers are a high school football team.
Okay.
Also, they're going to get ahead early, and then they're just going to run the damn ball. Honestly, JK is a solid pick to play. Gus maybe too, depending on how much they have to run the ball if they do split it 50-50 again.
Yep.
So
it's wild. Like you look at JK, he's only 25. 5'10", 215 unit. And after last week and the ideal matchup for week 2, he still only started in 34% of leagues right now.
That's crazy.
I feel like that'll go up before the weekend gets here.
It will. He should.
As people get designated out and stuff like that, like that's going to go up.
Yep.
So look, I wanted to talk about 2 people. I think JK was the first one I want to talk about. He was awesome week 1. I don't know if he'll do 10 for 135 and a touchdown in week 2, but
seems unsustainable.
But like if they get up against the Panthers, maybe like they're not going to run plays to only get 1 yard. They're going to give them every chance to. So shout out J.K. Dobbins. I'm starting him. I've got a league. I've got multiple leagues. I'm starting them flex though, like flex. The second one I want to talk to had a bad week 1, and I'm not sure it's his fault. Okay, let's talk about the number 1 waiver wire probably this week. Mark Andrews versus Isaiah Likely. Okay, all right. So in week 1, Isaiah Likely was like fantasy's darling. As far as like people didn't think he was going to be good, and then he ended up blowing it out the water. Okay, his stat line was 12 targets, so he's tied for second with a bunch of other guys. 9 receptions, 111, and a touchdown. And Mark Andrews didn't have any of that.
So this is one I feel like you can't quite look at the box score on. Yes, Likely was out there. He caught some passes. He ran great. He looked excellent touching the ball. But if you watched the game, Kansas City's defense keyed on Mark Andrews all game. He was double covered and linebackers were shading on him the whole game. So they made an effort to make sure he didn't get the ball, but Likely did step up to fill the void because there was open room to get it with them putting so much pressure on Mark Andrews. So yes, they did spend extra effort to shut down Mark Andrews. And also, yes, Isaiah Likely stepped up to fill the void. So I feel like that both of those things can be right. Mark Andrews, yes, had a bad week. No, I wouldn't freak out about it too much because of the effort KC had to put in to make sure he didn't have a good week.
I think I agree with that. I think if you go back and you look at the stats and a bunch of really good pro guys, not casual guys, a la me and Nolan, have covered that where, Andrews ran a higher snap count. He ran not from the tight end position. He ran like on the outside and in the slot.
A lot of it was from the wing position.
Yeah, and because of how KC covered him, what Isaiah Likely did was possible. He still caught the balls. He still ran for the yards. But I don't think, to your point, Nolan, I don't think we're like shipping Andrews down the road. But I will tell you that my worry now is fantasy committee at tight end.
Yeah, that's scary. Honestly, it makes Likely maybe flex playable, but it also drops Mark Andrews down to at most flex playable. Where a lot of people had him drafted like top 4 or 5 tight ends. He's definitely going to go way down.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I took Andrews as my number 1 tight end. I took Lamar, so I stacked him. I'm not getting rid of him yet. I still think, he's got a chance to be good. But I am already evaluating my waiver wire additions. But I didn't want to run out and grab Likely either. I'm not stashing a tight end committee. I don't even like.
Who's not gonna handcuff your tight end? This seems fucking psycho.
We don't even like running back handcuffs here for the casuals.
That's
Okay.
right.
Look,
Anti-handcuff, especially tight end.
don't read all that garbage from the analysts saying you got to handcuff your guys. Be brave.
Be
Go get
brave.
totally different dudes.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
you know,
right.
fill your roster up. So yeah, that was my two guys I want to talk about. I've been thinking about it since last week, like guys who stuck out or maybe didn't stick out. And do we think that we're worried? So for JK, I'm good. Play him. I think it's a good matchup, and till he proves is different, I'm playing him over Gus, and then Andrew's like, you know,
Yeah.
he
We'll
should
see
be
what
better.
happens. We'll see what happens week 2.
Yeah, but
Against a worse. Who are they playing this week?
let's see. They are playing LIK. They're playing Las
Raiders.
Vegas.
It's fine. Yeah.
They're going to be, it's fine. You might actually see Derrick Henry have a good game. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we all saw that coming. Game script, Derrick Henry was never going to be in a game that was becoming a shootout. Derrick Henry was never going to be the one that got the touches. Justice Hill, don't pick him up. It's probably not worth it. The Ravens probably aren't going to be like in that position much this year. So I don't know. I'd probably still stay away from Justice Hill. We didn't mean to talk about that, but it came up, so I'm talking about it.
That's fine.
But Derrick Henry does look like old man. He didn't get a lot of punch through the line whenever he attempted it either. I honestly not super high on either. But
no, yeah, I mean, it's weird to say we're not high on like the Ravens rushing attack, given who their quarterback is. That's about it. That's about the only one that I'm like really in love with. Like, if you're kind of worried about starting Mark Andrews because of Isaiah Likely, it's kind of the same thing with Derrick Henry. He looked kind of old, and they looked prepared to cover him, and Lamar is Lamar. You know, he looked like garbage, and he still has scored pretty good fantasy points. So
because he scrambled a lot because they did a bunch of effort to shut down the people he can throw to.
That's right.
Crazy. But left running lane's open. So I think the one I wanted to talk to before we wrap up is my guy that I was super high on all offseason. He was my first overall pick, probably when he shouldn't have been in a lot of these drafts. The one and only Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Let's go.
So, God, I was swearing up and down like you should be drafting him, talking about him in the same conversation as you would Tyreek and like CD. Yes, in hindsight, probably fucking too hot of a take. Flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
But like,
I see what you did there. Hold on. Good one. All right, go ahead.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, week 1, it didn't look good. Because how much do we think it was just week 1 shenanigans, shit got messed up, or is Jameson Williams finally an actual player in the NFL?
I think it's twofold for the Lions. The first is like Jameson, if he's healthy, has always shown glimpses that he's like a really dynamic weapon. He's just very rarely been on the field, and he was on the field this weekend. I mean, last weekend you saw him. I think the second is the Lions are going to be a pretty good team. They've got talent everywhere, and they get a good head coach. But you and I have like ranted about this. They are just kind of like a prime candidate for natural regression. Not like they're going to suck, but like they way overachieved last year. So Sun God's going to be fine. He's still going to be. I think his floor is like a top 20 receiver. But yeah, like JMO being there and being really good and healthy is going to matter, and the Lions regressing to the mean is going to matter, you know?
Yeah, it's starting to seem like it. Honestly, Laporta, not a great week either, though. So
no, I'm telling you, like, we're going to see that. Like, what about the running backs? Were they blown away by Lions running backs this past weekend?
Oh, both of them were just fine.
Yeah, so that's what you're going to see. The Lions will be just fine.
They're the same teams. They will.
Division.
Yep. They're going to spread it all out between every position. Everybody is vaguely viable.
Yep.
I mean, shit. The 1 year that I won one league, me and Zach were in together. I played Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift together, and I won that fucking championship. So, like,
hey man, 17 touchdown Jamal won a bunch of people.
That's
championships. Right. Okay. But yeah. Look, I'm with you. I want Sun God to be good. He's awesome. But like the Lions are going to be one of those teams that you can't bet on. Like
Yep.
you
They're gonna
can't
piss
lay
you
money
off
on
every
them
time.
because of B, which is they're gonna win games they shouldn't be in. Then they're gonna lose games of people they should beat. Like that's kind of they're gonna have above a 500 record, but they're gonna look back and go, it was kind of a disappointment compared to last year.
Yep.
You know. Yeah.
You say that there are a lot of people's favorites to win the whole fucking thing.
I don't think so. Baker threw 3 touchdowns. The Saints scored 47 points. It's coming through the NFC South. Okay.
Oh my god, fuck off. You have the softest division in the whole league.
Hey, if this is fantasy football content for fans, by fans, let me tell you that fans are biased.
Softest division in the league. Also, Baker had 4 touchdowns.
I don't know.
Don't sell my boy short.
I'm starting to think with Jordan Love out, other than the Lions, who we've just admitted we're just going to be fine, I think the NFC North might be the softest.
Ooh.
The Bears didn't score a touchdown.
Well, so is that first game jitters, or is he
It's just rookie game jitters, I think.
I guess. Because Titans, they have an above average defense. It's not an like elite defense, but it's above average. I wouldn't.
They spent the most money this offseason.
Well, that's true.
No, the only elite defense from this weekend was the Saints. I'm just kidding.
You. They have it.
That's my last Saints shot. Last one. That's my last one.
What? Bryce Young's what? 5'6"? Like
yeah.
He
and I can't call them.
He can't see over his own line.
I can't call them the only elite defense. There are 2 defenses that won their team's games this weekend.
That's right.
So
offense scored 0 touchdowns, and defense still won them those games.
Nolan, I'm surprised to tell you this is unrelated to the podcast, but we're going to say it anyways. Nolan, in our league, the top 2 defenses from week 1 are definitely addable on the waiver wire.
Are they really?
Yeah, the Bears and the Vikings are addable.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So look, if you haven't got the theme, Nolan and I wanted to talk about, it's that like trust in your picks. Like week 1 might have given you hints for the rest of the season, but there's a lot of stuff that happened in week 1 that won't matter. We're gonna look back and go, yeah, people overreacted. You know, like it was not a big deal. Last year's week 1 number 1 scorer, I'll have you know. Let me go back. Was the
my God.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. We had Tyreek Hill, who was really good. And then you had the Dallas Cowboys defense.
Dallas Cowboys defense.
40 points.
God.
Okay? The 5th best player was Mac Jones. And he got sat and traded after that.
That's disgusting.
So look, take your week 1 results with a grain of salt. If you lost, take that hit and do better this week. You know,
it was against the Philly defense too. Mac Jones did it, which is a little surprising.
Mac Jones, look, he threw down week 1 last year.
Damn.
And then lost his job. You know, like the Patriots, they didn't have Gerard Mayo. They have Gerard Mayo now. It's fine. So, well, look, I'm good. I'm excited for week 2. I'm excited to see hopefully some resurgent players that we expected. Some of you upstart players, relax. Okay,
Chill.
I didn't draft you, so relax.
That's right. If I didn't draft you, I don't need you to score that many points.
It's rude. It's
don't do it again.
Childish. Okay. All right. Well, look, y'all, I appreciate it. We're going to see you week 2 or after week 2, week 3. We're going to check it out. Find us on the Fantasy Sports Advice Network. The link for the website is I'll get the camera thing down eventually. It's over there. It's underneath Nolan. If you're looking at the show, and now it's underneath me.
No, give it back. Give it back.
But look, thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm Zach. This is Nolan.
What up?
This is fantasy football content for fans, by fans. We're doing this just because we want to hang out and talk to you guys. So thanks for listening to the Fantasy Lounge, and we're gonna see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.